Yo, hold on. Hold up. Hey, what's up?
I just saw that you went live.
Oh yeah, like right as you called, yeah.
That's all good.
Oh, it's all right. I'll just do it on and talk now, or do you want me to call you when I get done? Or are you gonna watch?
I'm gonna watch.
Okay. All right, love you, bye.
Bye.
What up? What up? Shout out to everybody. David, Colin, Poseidon, Zach. What's up, man? I ain't seen you in a while. I guess I haven't really been going live, but shout out to you. What up? Got Ashley up in here. She was just in the live over on Instagram as well. What up, Trey, Jonathan, James, Casey? What up, Patrick? What's up? What up, Matthew? But yeah, man, I'm sure y'all saw the title and y'all like, what? But yeah, man, I know there's been a bunch of y'all who've hit me up and just been like real concerned and shit. I appreciate it. Honestly, I had a wake up call happen this week, and it was really just one that was needed, man. I had to fix a bunch of shit. What up, Boone? I'm hit you up too, brother. I'm waiting to hear back from a couple people right now, but yeah, because I think there was one other thing they wanted to fix or add to the boxes. So yeah, and then we're gonna get you the actual die cuts too, so that yeah, because the people, they finally was like, oh, you have to purchase it first, and then we'll give you the die cut. So getting that all worked out so I can get you the die cuts too. But basically, I just needed to take a mental and physical break, bro. I need to recharge. Like, I was just running on fumes for so long because I've just been going for 2 years solid. You know what I'm saying? Like, just going. What up, April G? I've just been going and going and going and going and going. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I never really took the time to just not go. You know what I'm saying? Like, in a long time. And I've neglected a lot of aspects of my life trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? Or make this shit happen. And the reality is I feel like, one, I miss using my platforms. Two, I feel like if I had more time to unplug and recharge and all that, like I can be better and be more productive at everything that I do. You know what I'm saying? Because I get so caught up living in the past and holding on to things that I've experienced and went through. And, you know, that's draining. And I live so far into the future that, you know, I'm just like constantly thinking about how to, you know, do this or do that or the next best idea and shit. But by doing that, it takes a lot of my time. And then by the time I realize it, the day is over and I've done the bare minimum in my mind. You know, like I'm always productive, but the reality is I can be more productive. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in the right state of mind. Like, and I've realized, like, I got to get Jacob okay. Like, my high is fine. It's Jacob who's not. Okay? That's the reality. Like, it's not Mile High who's going through anything. I could turn Mile High on right now. You know what I'm saying? Mile High can sit there and act like nothing's wrong and act like, you know, everything is dandy and nothing's changed, and you know what I'm saying? But this is Jacob right now. Jacob's not okay. Jacob's not, you know what I'm saying, in always in the best place. And that's something that I want to change. Like, I don't want to go to bed. Like one thing that I did, like, I turned my phone on do not disturb now from 6:30 at night to 8:30 in the morning. So that way, like, I don't get any notifications or calls in those hours, so that I can just unplug. It's like I don't exist in those hours. You dig what I'm saying? Mile High is no longer available. You know what I'm saying? Because Jacob is occupying the body and has other obligations, you know, to tend to. And like I was saying on the Instagram live, you know, there's definitely, I can't say that there won't be times that will go live after 6:30, or, you know, we won't make content and that will drop after 6:30, but like, it will be more thought out and more planned out. Like it won't just be because I feel so like stressed out about having to do something. Like it won't be like, oh man, like I don't feel like I was productive today. Let me go ahead and just, you know, work harder and do a little bit more like before bed and shit. Like fuck all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to bed angry anymore. I'm not gonna wake up angry no more, because like I was saying on Instagram, man, waking up looking at social media is like it's literally like putting yourself into a cannon every morning and shooting yourself up out of bed. You literally just like, it's like I went to bed in the cannon. Fuck putting myself in it. It's like I went to bed in that cannon because I'm literally going to bed with my mind racing because I'm sitting here on social media up until like that last moment of me fucking going to sleep. So I'm going to bed with my mind racing, which is probably why I haven't been able to sleep very well. And then I'm waking up to immediately get right back on that shit. And I'm shooting myself out of bed at 1,000 miles an hour and shit because I'm already done had every emotion that you can have before I made it out of bed. You know what I'm saying? I've done been happy, sad, angry, fucking all of it. You know what I'm saying? All in the matter of fucking 10, 15 minutes scrolling through the feed, and it's draining. And then I find myself by like, you know, by the time I go and get my kids, bro, I don't even want to do shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the energy to do shit. And so that's just it's not social media is fucking, it's a blessing and a curse. You know what I'm saying? It is. It's a blessing and a curse. Like it's a blessing because it's brought me, you know, huh? The one with the 6 nuggets. It brought me so much cool experiences and opportunities, but at the same time, I haven't handled it completely 100% right. So I am super drained by it. You know what I'm saying? I'm super like exhausted mentally, physically. Like literally right now, I'm 152 pounds. And that's something that I don't say like lightly or happily, because honestly, I'm kind of insecure about that shit because I'm skinny as fuck. Like it doesn't seem like it, but it seems like it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you saw me my shirt off, your first reaction or instinct would be like, dang, he's just, you know, he's fit. You know, because I got a 6-pack and all that shit. But you know, let me turn sideways. You'd be like, damn, that nigga's skinny. You know what I'm saying? Like, holy shit, that nigga's skinny. But like, yeah, like I'm not 100% like, you know what I mean? Like that's not my ideal weight. So it makes me insecure. You know what I'm saying? That shit makes me insecure as fuck. And I can talk about it now and laugh about it now because I'm trying to change it and I want to change it. So the only way to do that is to take the power from that insecurity, to give that power back to myself in order to start putting action towards it. Right. So that's why I'm telling y'all that, because it's something that I do want to change. Like, you know, I used to be, you know, a solid 175, 185, you know what I'm saying? Just muscle, you know what I mean? Like just really fit. And, you know, stress and life took over and that became not so much of a priority. But over the years of that not being a priority, I found myself just being that much more exhausted. You know what I'm saying? Like super exhausted, bro. Like, and I know it's because I'm not completely healthy. You know, I need to get back into being healthy and shit. And then Crank, he said, "Ma, I'll give you some of my fat homie. I got you." Don't cry on this other fat girl. Shut up. Nah, I'm not gonna cry. I'm just keeping it a buck, bro. Like this ain't Mile High talking to y'all, man. Like this is Jacob for real. Like, yeah, you know, put Mile High to the side. Like y'all are really speaking to Jacob now, like the real person. You know what I'm saying? Like not saying y'all weren't always speaking to the real person when you were speaking to Mile High, but like the reality is when I know that I'm in the situation and people are expecting me to be mile high, like I have to give you guys that. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to give people what they expect. And it's not hard to do that. It's not hard to just be positive and to hide my own problems and to, push my own issues to the side to just give you guys this like happy, fun pothead fucking mile high dude. But like the reality is there's so much more to that person behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Which is me, Jacob, the person you're talking to now. Um, so yeah, like there's just a lot of things about my life like that I have to change and that I know, like, I understand now. Like, I understand that I was running from a lot of different battles, you know, looking at the bigger picture, always looking at the picture like, fuck these battles. I'm gonna win the war. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to win the battles to win the war, but that's a super naive thought process, right? You have to win every battle, or at least a chunk of them to even have a chance at winning the war. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is. Yep. Man, respect, bro. It takes courage to speak these truths. Yeah, man. It's just what it is, bro. Like I know a lot of people were wondering, about some of the posts, and the reality is, over the last couple of years, I've just lived in this weird space of my brain that I don't want to be in anymore. Like I want to move out of that space in my brain now. Like fuck that space, fuck that apartment of my brain. You know what I'm saying? Lock that motherfucker down, put the caution tape on it, fucking burn it to the ground. I don't ever want to be in this space of my life again or of my brain again because it's fucking terrible. Like to be so up and down emotionally is fucking stupid. It sucks. Like I would much rather I know there's gonna be ups and downs. See, but like I want this kind of up and down. I want to be able to navigate my ups and downs like I used to. But like this like real fucking drastic change situation and stuff, like it's draining and I can't do it anymore. So yeah, like I'm just gonna start making a point to make Mile High available at certain points of the day. And after that, it's Jacob time. Because if I take care of Jacob, then Mile High will always show up. Mile High will always be there for everything. Mile High will always be the best version of himself because Jacob is. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a thing that's gonna help everything. Yeah, Jacob and well, that's what I mean, Renee. You know what I mean. But that's the point. Like if I don't start taking care of every aspect of my life, and at least like the thing is you're never gonna be great at everything, right? You're never gonna be great at every aspect of your life. You're never gonna fucking, hit the mark 100% of the time. But the reality is you have to try all the time. You have to try. You know what I'm saying? And that was one thing that I have to admit is that I was really bad at trying when it came to things that I was insecure or fearful of. Like I pushed that shit away. Like, there was certain things in my life that I'll face fears. Like I can face fears all day. Like let me change that narrative. Like I can face my fears, but there's certain things in my life that I was really insecure and fearful about that it was stuff that I just felt like I can overcompensate with other things. So I would face fears in other aspects of my life to avoid facing the fears in certain parts of my life that were just hard or seemed impossible. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the reality. Like, and I'll be honest with y'all. What it is I was really bad at showing love, and it's not because I was not someone who like that. It's not because I'm someone who can't give love. It's that I was really ignorant to the fact that everybody receives love differently. You know what I'm saying? Whereas I was always just fixated on the fact that like I receive love this way, and so I'm going to give love this way. And it made no sense when people around me wouldn't feel the love that I was trying to give. But at the end of the day, you can't give somebody love in a way that they don't feel love or receive love. And that was something that I didn't understand. like at all. Like 100% had no understanding of that concept up until like a couple days ago, a day ago. Like, yeah, I didn't even understand myself and how I received love as a person. And you know what I'm saying? I could tell you more how I gave love than I received it myself. But I'm guessing you're rightly 26, 28. Yeah, yeah, I'm 28. You was right on the money there, sir. Yeah, I'm 28. Yep, nah, for sure. And that's the thing is it's just I'm in that time of my life where things priorities change. Life starts to make a little bit more sense, even though it's more chaotic. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, nah, real shit. And and I know I'm gonna go through plenty more. I wouldn't even say one more. I'm gonna go through plenty more situations that are gonna change my thought process through the years because the times are gonna change around me. The people are gonna change around me. The situations will change around me. And as you gain new knowledge and new information, you're only doing yourself a disservice to not sit there and look at this information for what it is and dissect it and take what you can from it and motherfucking grow. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is about growing. And that's where I think over the last couple of years I got stagnant because instead of growing as a whole, I was growing as a partial. You know what I'm saying? I was growing as a part of myself, not as the whole me. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't growing every aspect of my life. I started focusing too much on small, not even small, but certain aspects. I started focusing too much on things that I felt were important. You know what I'm saying? And not listening to more of the people around me and hearing what they were saying was important. You know what I'm saying? And again, that just goes back to me not understanding how to give love the correct way. You know what I'm saying? And that was just what it is. And that's really a lot of our problems, man. A lot of us don't know how to motherfucking uh, give give love the right way because we're all products of our environments. As weird as and no one likes to hear that shit, but the reality is it's deeper than just you being a product of like a neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? You're a product of your household, bro. That's an environment that was your main environment was your house. So you have to understand why there's certain things why certain things you do are contributed to the way you were taught and grew up. Like for instance, I'm not a big hugger. I don't hug often. It's something that I was never a touchy-feely kid because I never received love that way. Like when I gave hugs, it was when I was coming or going from a place. Like if I got to a party, I'd give someone a hug. If I was leaving, I would give someone a hug. Like that, it held no merit. That like hugs don't hold anything to like with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I just never received love that way. My mom didn't hug me, overly abundantly. Like I don't remember that. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember, like I just remember the first time that I felt like I was like people loved me and wanted me around and needed me was when I was able to take care of people, and able to do things for people and give people stuff. So I started to at a young age contribute love to money. You know what I'm saying? I contribute love to financial ability, right? And so the way that I would try to give love, like Renee would tell you, man, like she's got hella expensive jewelry. You know what I'm saying? She's got jewelry that like is worth a lot of money. That like to her is just a ring. You know what I'm saying? To me, it was like me trying to express my love and my gratitude to her, but she doesn't receive love that way. So for the longest, for years, I never understood why that ring didn't mean more to her, right? And or any of the jewelry that I've bought her, why it never meant more to her, right? Because to me, like I'm spending money on you, I'm giving you gifts, I'm financially able to do this stuff. Like, why is this love not being reciprocated the way that I'm trying to give it? And I never understood that shit until literally this week. And it's because that ring it was never what she wanted. You know what I'm saying? She just wanted my attention. She just wanted me to hug her and kiss her and tell her that she looked good today and, all that type of shit. But like I said, I was just so fearful of trying to really understand that situation, from her perspective that I was always looking at it from my perspective and trying to prove a point and trying to make her understand that, like, I'm giving you love, I'm showing you love, this is just how I do it. You know what I'm saying? When it was like, mm, that's not how you do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not how that shit works. It's not how relationships work. Like, her goal should be to show me love in the ways that I receive it, and my goal should be to show her love in ways she receives it. No matter how uncomfortable it makes either of us, that's the reality. You know what I'm saying? Because neither of us will feel that love that the other is trying to give without understanding how to give it. And yeah, it's just some really deep shit. You know what I'm saying? And when you really start looking at things and understanding these things about yourself, it makes it a lot easier to understand why you are perceived a certain way when you interact with people. It's easy to understand why you present yourself a certain way. Like, it makes a lot of the things that you do and a lot of the reasons why you are the person that you are makes sense. You know, that's all. Yeah, Bacon. Yeah, and that's just real shit. Yeah, I'm on that same level. Like, I just don't know how. Like, not even don't know how. I never was given love in a way that, like, most people think traditionally, like, you show love. So, like, my ways of giving love are really untraditional, even though it's not uncommon to love or to receive or give love the way that I do. It's more common than not, actually. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's obviously the reason I was able to identify myself and why was because I was able to read and figure out, like, oh, I'm just like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, I contribute a lot of things to, like, gifts and financial ability. You know what I'm saying? And that's really, and that's another thing that's like an insecurity for me too, is like, me and Renee were talking about it. Like, I remember the first time that, like, I had to ask her for her credit card or her, just her card or in general, like, because I needed some money. And that was one of the hardest things for me to do ever. And it made me feel so, like, down about myself that I had to do that, because for shit, since I can remember, since high school time, like, I've had money. I've always had money. I've always been like a go-getter. Like, if I wasn't selling candy and cell phones and shit, I was finding something to make some money off of. Like, facts. You know what I'm saying? And with this whole journey into doing, like, entrepreneurship and starting my own businesses and stuff, it's definitely not easy. And there's definitely been times where, I wasn't able to afford, my part, my half, my, things that I was used to doing. And that was really a tough, like, pill to swallow and to cope with, and it's something that I still struggle with a lot. Not that I don't, trust or believe in Renee and, like, her ability to take care of our family, because I know she can. And she's, for this whole stint of me being an entrepreneur, YouTuber, like, she's been our backbone. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's only been this last year. I've been doing YouTube and doing this shit for almost, what, 2.5 years now, maybe even close to 3. So, but it took 2 years to get to a point of really making money. And then, it's really only been this last year that I've actually been able to really, like, create steady incomes of revenue to be able to help. And, that's something that I've struggled with for a long time, a few years, like, since it happened when I first had to ask, like, and it was something that I never really kind of, like, coped with 100%. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, like, I know how, like, I know how toxic money is, but for a long time, money was, like, the only thing that I was able to, like, feel. It was the only place and the thing that I felt I was able to get love from, or from people with, right? Like, I think that's why I took care of so many people, because to me, it felt good and felt like I was being loved. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, all it did was drain me, and really make me resent people, and people that I shouldn't have resentment towards, you know? So it's an interesting situation. Very interesting. See what the fuck YouTuber never recommend one good thing once you find the fan and it happens. Yeah, nah, real shit. Appreciate you, sports bro. You know, that's one thing that I always try to do is just be myself and be a buck. You know what I'm saying? In a rough upbringing, he shows love with trying to buy me things instead of showing me the intention that I crave. See, Jackie, and that's something. Look, look. You're in a very similar situation then, very similar, because you'll relate to Renee on a personal level, right? You relate to Renee on a personal level. See, me, like, oh, you said your internet dropped out. Oh, but yeah, it's good to hear honest both sides, girls and guys around my age, because I just bulldoze through girls. Yeah, nah, real shit. Hey, man, and that's something that everybody goes through those stages where they just like, they want to hoe out. Let's be real, we all want to hoe out at some point in our lives. And I did that shit in high school, and even in my like early 20s, right before I got with Renee, and after I left my first child's mother. And so I did that shit. Like, I did that whole situation of, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, want to just put my dick in everything, anything and everything. You know what I'm saying? If it was a chick with a vagina, I was trying to fuck it. Like, that's just what it was. Like, I was just a hoe. I can't even lie. Like, I was a hoe. Like, I got more one night stands than I could tell you I got relationships. There's more chicks that I just met and did my thing and never talked to again than I actually have had real relationships. Like, that's just real shit. I fuck more chicks I don't remember their name than I can the ones I do remember their name. Like, that's bad, right? But it is what it is. It's just what I was. I fiend for me, sex was never emotional. So it was always just some like, I'm just getting my rocks off. Like, I don't give a fuck if you get yours off. I'm gonna get mine off, and I'm not gonna call you ever again. Like, that was just real, But I grew up, man. I understand that, like, that's not shit. Like, really, and what helped me grow up was I have 3 daughters. I got all girls. So, and I don't want none of my girls to be those women, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't want, like, not saying that those women, there was something wrong with these women. There wasn't, I was just really conniving, manipulative, and very articulate. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Y'all know how I can put words together. I'm articulate, bro. I was able to talk to people. I still am able to talk to people, right? Now the motive and the narrative has just changed. Like, now I don't, I'm not out trying to, be, fucking manipulative or trying to change situations for me to just go have sex or something. Now I'm trying to, like, put myself in business transactions and trying to put myself in situations to help companies grow so I can benefit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the reality. Like, my motives changed. But yeah, like, it's, we all gotta just grow up. And one thing that I know is I feel like I'm a better person because of Renee than not. Like, I feel like there would have been a lot of times that I would have never grown up if it wasn't for her, forcing that hand. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm hard-headed. I'm stubborn. I'm really stubborn. I know that about myself. I'm hard-headed and I'm stuck in my ways. I'm an old dog. You can't teach new tricks. You dig what I'm saying? Like, that's how I really just, like, really was, man. But, like, she would force those hands, and she'd be like, "Oh, you think you motherfucking stubborn? You know what I'm saying? You think you aren't about to motherfucking, continue to evolve as a person." And, she'll make things happen, how she needs to make shit happen. You dig what I'm saying? Like sometimes drastic things have to happen for me to fucking understand and for me to see. And I really see that now. I see that like a lot of the time, I know that my intention was never to like push her away or make her mad or anything like that. But sometimes it took for her to get to these points to fucking be ready to break and fucking burn bridges and shit for me to understand what she was saying or me to get it or me to like come up out of my fucking hard-headed ways long enough to see that or to understand or hear what she was saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm stubborn, bro. I'm hard-headed as fuck. I try to do things my way all the time. And sometimes my way is not the best way. And I have to remember that because I get a lot of praise in like the business world. Like a lot of the time I get my way when it comes to business and working with people because I know how to tell people things in a way that like will make them be like, oh fuck. You know what I'm saying? And like if I really truly strongly believe in something and feel like that my way is better, like I can convince fucking anybody fucking anything. You dig what I'm saying? But that's the motherfucking reality is there's definitely certain parts of my life that I fucking am super hard-headed and stubborn with. And she definitely helps just continue to make sure that we and me are always growing. You know what I'm saying? And herself, like, you know, she's definitely growing. But like that's the reality. So yeah, Jackie, like don't just give up on him. Don't just get mad at him. You know, the reality is you have to learn to forgive. In the book I read, it's by Trent Sheldon. If y'all want to go look up this book, it's by Trent Sheldon. It's called The Greatest You. I read the whole book yesterday. I bought it yesterday. I read the whole book yesterday. But there was a chapter about forgiveness. And he says something in this chapter that made so much sense to me that, like, drop it. Why are you, give me that. Bruh. Chief over here being chief. Hold up. No, badass. But yeah, so forgiveness, bro. He said literally something that just made so much sense. So he said, forgiveness. You know, most people have this misconception that when you forgive somebody, it's like a gift to them, to that person that you're forgiving, like you're validating what they did or, you know, saying it's okay. And the reality is that that's not the truth. That's not the reality of why you forgive somebody. You forgive somebody for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because once you can truly forgive somebody, you now give them the opportunity to grow because now you've let it go. You've grown from it. You've moved on from it. You can now relate to that person and you can maybe help that person grow. But when that person also sees you forgive and you move on, like they're going to, because they probably feel just as bad as you for doing it. Like nobody does something to somebody without knowing it. Like there's definitely times we fuck up and we do things unintentionally, but usually those are things that like are in relationships where you know like that person was just like trying to do something nice and the intention was there, but he missed the mark or she missed the mark, right? I'm talking about like when you're really upset with somebody or you're really hurting, you want to hurt somebody like that. You want to, like it's a fact in your brain. Like, you know that you're about to do this shit, right? So when you do hurt somebody, you know that you did it. So you're both on both sides. You both think about it. You both motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? Have these questions and these what ifs and this lack of understanding because that person probably did something because of some sort of situation or, you know, whatever that was happening in their own personal life, or they did it to a reaction to you, but it was only because they didn't understand what you were going through, right? So when you start to forgive, you can now let go of that shit. You can let go of the baggage. You can move forward in life and not let that hinder you in any interactions coming forward. But it also allows for you to relate. When you forgive people, it'll now allow you let go of all that animosity and that fucking all that bullshit that was making you so mad that now you can put yourself in their shoes to relate and be like, damn, man, you was going through some real shit. You know what I'm saying? We both was, but like, I understand why you was doing that. I understand why you are the way you are. I understand why you react the way you do. Like, and it makes you have just a better understanding of the people that you deal with every day. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but that's the reality. See, and I'm gonna sit here and say that's That's ignorant talk. I'm gonna keep it a buck. And this is Jacob, not Mile High. I'm talking to you from Jacob, bro. Marco, like the reason why I feel like that's kind of like just ignorant talk, not saying you as a person is ignorant. I just feel like the statement was ignorant because, like I said in the beginning of this, forgiveness is not for the other person. And I'm never once did I say forget it. I said forgive. Forgiving is not for the other person, it's for you. It's so that you don't bog yourself down with baggage that shouldn't be bogging you down. All you need to do is learn from the situation and move on. That's why you forgive. It's not for the other person. You could forgive somebody without even telling it to their face. If you wanted to, that's just reality. You can. And you can move on with that in peace and that not bother you anymore. Like, that's the reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like Miles H said, hating someone is exhausting. So it's not about forgetting. It's about forgiving so that you can move on with it and you cannot hold so much resentment and animosity towards a situation that in hindsight doesn't affect your life now. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the reality. Unless you're giving it so much power that it does. Like me, for instance, there's things in my past that I need to forgive and just let go of. Not saying I'm ever gonna forget them. No, because those were important pivotal moments of my life that changed certain aspects of me in my life. But the reality is that if I continue to live with that baggage, thinking that like, you know, like basically hating that person or those people or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm giving way too much power of myself to that. Like you literally think about it like this. When you don't forgive somebody, you're leaving a piece of you with them. You literally are giving them a piece of you and saying, hold on to this because I'm going to come back. I may or may not come back for this, but I want you to always remember that you did this and blah, blah. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're literally giving them a piece of you. And how can you operate at 100% the best you if you're not 100% you? You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the reality of it, bro. Like it's not about forgiving to forget. It's forgiving to move on. You forgive to move on and be the best you, and you stop giving power over things that don't control you anymore, things that shouldn't have power over you from the past. Like everything that happened to you in the past was meant, but you don't have to give it power over you. Just learn from it, grow from it, and keep it pushing. That's the reality. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality. Yeah, you give so much power to everything that you go through when you hold on to animosity and shit like that, bro. Like, and I understand that now. Like, I've given so much power to like situations, not even to the people, bro. It just be the situation. Like, it'd be like I could forgive the person and then like still be mad at the situation. It's like, how the hell does that work? Like, you need to just let it go. Like, you don't have to forget it. You can always tap back into that and be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I need to go. Man, I don't. I need to re-tap into that lesson and remember why I went through that particular experience, so that you can continue to grow and just continue to move forward. But I definitely don't want to motherfucking. You know what I'm saying? You forgive her. Like you want, like you want me. You're trying to give me a shock value situation or scenario. There is none. I'm telling you, bro. There is none. I really think, Marco, you would get a lot from that book that I'm talking about. It's by Trent Sheldon. It's called The Greatest You. All right. And the reason why I just say that you get a lot from it, bro, because I feel like I think we have a lot of things in common as far as how we approach people and how we interact with people. And it's because of these guards and these walls that we have up preemptively to make sure we can protect ourselves at all times. Right. And that's not a good way to go into every interaction, because if you hold on to this situation that your sister did, that like you're going to ruin relationships with potential people that like were going to help you be the best you on the planet. You know what I'm saying? And that's just reality. Like you're going to push people away when you continue to hold on to energy that's not truly you. Like, you're not defined by that moment with your sister or by that situation with your sister. You know, I really do send my good vibes and my fucking, you know what I'm saying? But the reality is like that doesn't define you as a person. That wasn't your only bad chapter of life, was it? That wasn't the only time you went through something bad or tragic. It probably isn't even the first time or the only time that you've had an issue with a family member. You know what I'm saying? And when you start understanding that bad chapters are going to happen in your life, and the reality is sometimes you don't get to write those bad chapters. Those bad chapters are written for you. But the longer you give it power and the longer you stay angry about it, the more often and the more likely you are to rewrite bad chapters. Not saying you're going to repeat that chapter, but you're going to continue the cycle of writing bad chapters. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you have to understand that, bro. You know, and that's something that's hard to understand because even me, like, there's things in my life that I don't want to necessarily like let go of, or, you know, I want to fucking hurt certain people. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, does that help me? No. You know what I'm saying? It might make me feel good in the moment, but and then at that time, now I'm defined for real by that moment. That whole situation has now defined me 100% because I'm so mad at this situation. I go hurt the person that hurt me in that situation, and now I ruin the rest of my life. Now that one situation has defined me for the rest of my life, period. Now I'm stuck in that bad chapter, and I can never get out of that bad chapter. You know what I'm saying? And that's a crazy mindset to be in, bro. And it's a destructive mindset to be in. Like, never forget it. Just know that you'll be better. You know what I'm saying? And know that you are better. That's all it comes down to, bro. What'd you say? Oh, Jessica Larkins. Ooh, we got a troll up in here. Bro, if I couldn't keep my girl, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you about this. Because that means I'd be still stuck in my hard-headed ways, and we wouldn't be able to have this conversation. Renee was actually, if she's not back at work, she was in this live. Actually, she called me on the beginning of the live. If you want to go, see that, I was FaceTiming her. So, yeah, crazy how that thing works, huh? Maybe you should grow. We need somebody to help her grow. Yeah, no, it's not even about forgetting. It's not even about forgetting. Exactly, B45 also be telling me, come be. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, you don't want to be the old you. It's always about being a better version of you. Better version. That's so funny. You got trolls. See, she has nothing else better to do. Her life sucks. So she had to come in here and try to clown like it was Boston versus somebody's feelings. Like, bruh, I'm sitting here being honest as fuck with y'all about so much shit. Like, what else? Like, oh man. I think you need to be honest with yourself, Jessica. But anyways, we're not gonna spend too much time on you, Jessica Larkins. We're gonna keep it pushing because you're not. So, but it feels good to release it. Finally, I did a lot of shit because of that situation, brother. Yeah, Marco. And see, that's what I'm saying. I could tell you hold a lot of resentment, and like you present yourself to the world a certain way because of that situation. And the reality is, bro, that shit's toxic as fuck. Not only just for you, but for everybody else that you encounter and you deal with on a regular basis. I honestly never felt the real from Alive in a minute. Hey, that's what's up. I appreciate that. I'm glad that, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad. Because that was really just kind of why I wanted to get on here and just talk, was just to really be just real. Because there was hella people hitting me up, asking me if I was okay.